What's going on, everyone? So, talked about how Zion Williamson, his career is just, he's cooked, right? Like, the guy can't stay healthy. He's one of the best talents in the entire NBA. This is a guy that could be top 5 in the league, if not the best player in the league, if he could just kind of get himself together. But he can't stay healthy. And a lot of it is just the lack of seriousness coming in the league, right? Not taking care of your body, right? Not doing the things necessary to put yourself in the best position to have success and to stay healthy, especially with all the weight at his size, right? Like, it's just Zion has put himself in this position. And it's so disappointing and so frustrating because he is such an incredible talent. The guy is unstoppable. And we've seen, he's shown the ability and has looked at times every bit that just insane level talent. He's the most hyped guy since LeBron. He was a superstar before he ever even went to Duke even, right? He's one of the most explosive, fun, dynamic guys that you can watch in the game of basketball, period, right? And he just, his agency is dropping him. It's an absolute mess. And it's just, I don't see it changing. I don't see it fixing. I hope it does. Right? He lost this weight in the offseason, right? There was this genuine excitement and kind of almost like freshness to Zion Williamson going into this season in that approach. And it's kind of been flushed down the toilet in a lot of ways. And, based on the reports that have came out, Zion's nowhere close to be returning to basketball. And it's like, what do the Pelicans do at this point? Right? Like, if you're the Pelicans, you're in trouble. You went and got DeJounte Murray, and now, half your roster is hurt, your main guys. But, they're a team that they have a ton of talent, right? They're a team that, you look at Zion, and it's like, if he could be that superstar that we have seen him in spots be, if he can consistently be that, if he could be a top 5 guy, the Pelicans, there's no reason why they can't be a championship contender, and even maybe potentially hoisting the Larry O'Brien trophy. Right? DeJounte Murray and, Herb Jones and CJ McCollum and Troy Murphy and, Jose Alvarado and Brandon Ingram, especially with the way he's playing this season. And then, Zion Williamson. And yes, they need a center, but you can address that. There's options out there. There's ways to go get that. You can go make a move or two to go get that center if need be. Right? This is a team that you look at on paper and you just go, man, they should be one of the best teams in the NBA. But Zion Williamson is unreliable. So if you're the Pelicans, do you look to move him? Right? And the problem with that is you're not going to get the value to where it kind of it makes sense to go and get Zion. But Zion's probably leaving at some point anyway, if his career isn't cooked by then. But I do think that there is a genuine argument for the Pelicans to just get whatever you can get for Zion and just move on, be done, right? Because you're never going to be able to take that next step unless either A, Zion Williamson finally gets healthy and gets himself right, which, does that ever happen? Or B, you trade him, right? And you look at this team. Okay, let's say you trade Zion. You're probably going to get some return. You're not going to get a star or superstar, but you probably get a couple first. There's teams that would probably take a flyer on him. I don't think any the upper echelon teams would, but I do think some of these kind of like a Detroit, I could see them maybe giving away quite a bit of assets. And I also think you're going to have a couple teams that would probably trade for him just because it's Zion Williamson, jersey sales, fill some seats, stuff like that, right? You get teams that are we don't really care so much about winning a championship, just get Zion in our jersey, right? I could see something like that. So I do think you'd get something for Zion, and then now you can just kind of wash your hands of it, be done, move on, and kind of focus on, okay, what direction now? Do we need to go get a superstar? Can one of these guys kind of emerge into that for us, right? Does this team kind of balance stuff out, right? Because again, you got DeJounte Murray, Herb Jones, right? Does Brandon Ingram maybe be more willing to stick around if now he gets to kind of be the guy, right? And then, so literally, your starting five could be DeJounte Murray, Herb Jones, Brandon Ingram, Troy Murphy, and then go get a center. Go trade for a center. Maybe you can even get a center in the deal for a Zion Williamson, right? Now you got legit size, length, versatility. You're athletic. You're young, right? What's your other options? Can't be much worse than you are right now. You've been a play-in team every year, right? So trading Zion, okay, you're a play-in team again. Okay, well, that's where you're at now. So it's the same result regardless, right? Zion never wanted to be a Pelican to begin with. Reports have came out even now, recently, that talked about how Zion, he still wants to be a Knick. He's always wanted to be a Knick. That's been the worst kept secret in basketball, right? From the moment he was drafted, he was hopeful that he could make his way to the Knicks. And it's always kind of been a matter of time till he kind of forces his way to the Knicks. Now, the Knicks, I don't think would take him at this point, right? Especially with the team that they have and the roster they have, right? So I don't think the Knicks would be a team that would trade for him. If they are, can you maybe get a Mitchell Robinson and some pieces? I don't know, maybe. But I think you at least explore it if you're the Pelicans, right? I think if you're the Pelicans, you got to at least consider, hey, let's put some feelers out, right? Let's just take some calls that maybe we wouldn't have taken last year. Maybe we kind of, leak some sources, kind of play the whole what? No, what? No, we have no intentions of trading Zion. But really, it's just you're secretly answering some phone calls, right? You're secretly kind of just gauging what it is. Because I do think some teams would probably take a flyer on him. Now, you probably got to wait till Zion gets back and healthy and shows that he can at least be a productive player out on the basketball court. So I don't think you can trade him right now, but hopefully he can get back in the next, couple weeks, right? Maybe you got a month before the trade deadline. And then if he's starting to look good, kind of raise his stock, raise his value. Maybe some teams would be you know what, maybe we give up something for Zion. Again, look at the Knicks gave up 5 firsts for Mikal Bridges, and that's not worked out great for them thus far. Mikal Bridges has had his struggles badly, right? Changed his shot and did all this stuff, right? Some team probably give you 2-3 firsts for Zion Williamson. You probably get a center or, some young guy, right? Atlanta, go get Clint Capella and, a couple pieces from them, right? Hit up Atlanta again and just be hey, you guys want Zion to pair with Trae Young? Jalen Johnson, right? We want Clint Capella and, I don't know, Hunter or something like that, right? Whatever, and a couple firsts, right? You just work something out in that regard, right? I don't know, find one of these teams. Detroit's got a couple centers. They'd probably do it, right? The Charlotte Hornets, right? Hey, give us Nick Richards and a couple pieces or whatever and some picks and stuff. They might say, all right, fine, Zion with LaMelo or whatever, right? At this point, I think genuinely, if you're the Pelicans, you have to at least explore it. I think you have to consider it. You don't have to trade him. And look, he's probably leaving you regardless. So it's not you have the risk of if we upset Zion, he's just going to leave us when he's a free agent. He's leaving you regardless, right? He's as soon as he gets the opportunity to file for a divorce, he's gone, right? So again, what's going to happen, right? You're in the position either way. So to me, I just think it makes sense to explore it. Let's see. You might find a team that goes, you know what, man, go get Zion, or you get an owner that's you know what, hey, I want Zion in our team's jersey, right? That's gonna make me $1 billion, right? Go get Zion. I think that the genuinely that the Pelicans would have some success and find something. I don't think that you're going to get the massive return you would if Zion was, healthy and dominant Zion, where you're probably getting a historic level package. But I still think that you probably get 2 firsts, a center, and a young piece or 2, right? Maybe even work out another trade to go get some other things, right? Like, you're going to get, I think, at least a solid return and maybe fill some needs. And, like I said, if you can go get, I don't know, again, a Nick Richards, right? It's like, okay, well, you got like DeJounte Murray and Herb Jones and Brandon Ingram and, Troy Murphy. And then now you got, a Nick Richards, right? I just think that now that's just a nice, clean, balanced, sizable, versatile lineup that I think could maybe make some noise. Obviously, you don't have the superstars and stuff, so you probably want to kind of keep an eye out for that at some point. But, you could kind of be patient. I think you'd be a playoff team. I just think that that's the approach that they should take right now. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion, and I pass the question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? You kind of mixed in the middle? Do you think, like, nah, you can't consider trading Zion? Do you think, like, no, you got to trade Zion? It's ridiculous at this point. Get what you can for Zion, right? Kind of let him be somebody else's problem. Let somebody else kind of take the chance and the risk on him. Because I think the Pelicans would still be a good team. Right? Like, Murphy's great. Herb Jones is great. Right? Like, I don't think that they're like stars, superstars, or anything like that, but I think that they're very good players, right? And you never know what a guy can emerge to when they get the opportunity. So, anyway, again, however you feel, whatever your thoughts are, let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. So we enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel, hit that subscribe button, turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.